continue, we are watching another internet historian video. The Man in Cave. Vidya. I know this is one y'all been wanting me to watch. Let us get into the rabbit hole. Yes, I am ready. I am ready. Oops, there we go. Alright. Make sure the audio is good. And let's get into it. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Re-upload, fellas. The original got copy struck. Rip. Sorry for the re-upload, fellas. The original got copy struck. Rip. But don't worry, we are working on new main channel videos. Here's a sample of the timelines. In the meanwhile...
Oh, that's what those were! Wah! Wait, I want to go back. As someone who also edits, I want to be able to appreciate his timelines. Wow! This is very impressive. Good grief. Holy cow. And I thought my timelines get like crazy, but this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Like, I've never done super extensive editing, like not to this point. But this is wow. I want to take a moment to appreciate this man's hard work. It is beautiful.
But don't worry, we are working on new main channel videos. Here's a sample of the timelines. In the meanwhile, incognito mode, which has a new video about every 6 weeks, and story mode, which has a new video about every...
I still need to watch story mode. I know that that's the channel that y'all have also asked me to react to, is story mode. So we'll have to watch some of those eventually as well.
Which has a new video about every 6 weeks, and story mode, which has a new video about every 4 weeks. Thank you for watching a second time.
Yeah! This video meets the criteria of legal fair use and those of YouTube's guidelines. Adjust your screen's brightness until the text on the left is barely visible. What are we playing? Are we playing a game? Oh my god. I'm ready.
In the state of Kentucky, there is a cave.
A cave?
That every now and then
Sand cave.
A sacrifice.
Kentucky, USA.
January 30th, 1925. A man walks towards the cave with a kerosene lamp in his hand. He hangs up his jacket and ducks into a 5-foot opening. The inside of the cave is small. He has to go
Yeah, I mean, that's like Mintzey sized. That is quite literally a Mintzey sized hole. As someone who is 4'11", it'd be perfect. It's true. It's true. It'd be perfect. 4'11", heck you!
Happening. The inside of the cave is small. He has to go on hands and knees, crawling through passages of sharp stone. And
oh man, see, I wouldn't. Oh my god. Like, no, my claustrophobia, I think I would die. I would not be able to do it. Oh man, you would not be able to pay me enough money to ever go cave diving, exploring, splunking.
Hands and knees, crawling through passages of sharp stone and choking dust.
Ugh.
Then down a chute he had cleared out months earlier.
So he's been here before. So this isn't his first rodeo with this particular cave.
Down a chute he had cleared out months earlier. All of the daylight is gone from here.
Oh,
and
God.
This lantern is his only source of light. Ignoring the loose limestone rocks perched directly above him, he is now 100 feet in. And here he reaches the turnaround room.
The turnaround?
Now, they call this the turnaround room because this is the juncture where even experienced cavers say, no thanks, and...
That alone! Come on, it's right there! If you have experienced and professional cave explorers telling you, don't go here, you should leave. You should probably leave.
This is the juncture where even experienced cavers say, no thanks, and turn around.
I'm doing it for the cavelessy. No.
To continue, cavers say, no thanks, and turn around. Because to continue on means going through this.
The squeeze.
The squeeze. A gap in the stone of only 9 inches.
No. No. I need a ruler. I need to visualize this. Hell no! Oh my god! The squeeze. Is that what they called your mom back in high school?
Squeeze. A gap in the stone of only 9 inches. For reference, here's a Subway sub.
Here's a Subway sub for reference, for scale. We don't want a banana for scale, we got a sandwich for scale.
For reference, here's a Subway sub. Going through, he would look exactly like this.
Oh my god, bro, no. From the Ted the Caver, hold on, my phone's blocking it. Creepy pasta. Oh, this image is from a creepy pasta. Huh. No. No. You could tell me all the money in the world is in that cave, and I still wouldn't do it. You could tell me the fountain of youth is in that cave. All the knowledge in the world is in that cave. I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it.
His arm going through, he would look exactly.
What if it's Half-Life 3? Would you guys go in that cave if it means Half-Life 3 is in there? Ay.
Going through, he would look exactly like this. His arms will need to be completely at their side, and he will need to exhale so that he can reduce the size of his torso. Gradually, bit by bit, he disappears into the hole. His clothes are caught on sharp gypsum crystals, hooking into him and threatening to hold him in place. Using just his feet, he pushes himself forward. He reaches a wider opening at the other side.
Wait, the real guy? Wait, is this a real picture of it? Wait, really? Oh my... Oh. I know people are adrenaline junkies, and that's perfectly fine. But I feel like there's safer ways to get your adrenaline rush, right? Oh my gosh. Haunting? A little bit. A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
He reaches a wider opening at the other side, then crawls forward towards a ledge. Lit by the lamp is a drop about twice his height.
10 feet?
There's already a rope here.
Right.
He gently climbs down. His worn-out leather shoes touch the ground. This
So
is
he's
as
going
far
even
as he can go,
further. Yeah.
and it is time for work to begin. What he is working on is another opening. At the moment, it's too small for anyone to fit through. But he will
Right.
chip away at it until he can shove himself right through the other
But
side.
then, I mean, you risk of the whole thing collapsing. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Oh my god.
But he will chip away at it
Time to go
until he
even
can
further.
shove himself
Beyond.
right through the other side. Because on the other side is this. An otherworldly cave structure dripping with pristine white crystals.
That is very pretty, but it still
Every
wouldn't
day
be
for
worth
months,
it.
he has been removing rocks from this crevice. To him, this is all just routine. So he shimmies further into the gap, his body contorting to the shape of the crevice as he wriggles his way in. The walls becoming so tight that he can no longer use his arms.
Oh god. Ooh.
Then, about halfway, he stops.
Oh no. Oh
The
no. His
It's starting
lantern.
to dim.
Yeah.
He will need to go all the way back to the surface to refuel the thing. He sighed.
Why didn't he bring like extra lanterns with him or extra fuel? I don't know if the fuel was portable that way, but see, I'm trying to reason. Carry them where and keep it where? At the opening of the cave? I don't know, closer to him? I don't know. I'm trying to be logical here. I'm trying to be logical. He doesn't have video game protagonist inventory. You're right. You're right. He has no space in his inventory for that. In his bussy. Damn, you're right. He should have stored it there. You're so true. Store a mini lantern.
We'll need to go all the way back to the surface to refuel the thing. He sighs. He slowly shuffles back out, pushing the lantern with his shoulder. Then, oh no. Ding, crack,
Oh
duck.
shit!
He has knocked over the lamp.
Bro,
and
I
it
would just
has
die. I
broken.
would die right there. I would die right there. Exactly there. The panic that would go through me alone would kill me. Oh my god.
Darkness.
I should have pressed the unstuck button. Man, who developed this? Where's the unstuck button when I need it? Ugh.
Then, oh no. Ding, crack, darkness.
Where's my quick
He has
save?
knocked
My
over the
scum
lamp,
save.
and it has broken.
That must have
The
been
man breathed deeply
terrifying.
and relaxed. He had been in worse situations before, and he
Right.
was confident he could navigate his way to the surface through feel alone.
The worst thing
He
you want to
searches
do is
around with his
panic.
feet to find something he can push against. Ah, there's something, he thinks.
Uh-oh.
But what he doesn't know is that he's pressing against a loose rock on the ceiling.
Oh,
As soon as he
shit.
puts his weight against it, it comes through.
Oh,
a solid
no.
piece weighing 15 kilograms lands directly
33
on his ankle.
pounds on his ankle alone. Oh, my God.
Solid piece weighing 15 kilograms lands directly on his ankle. It aches. But he's okay. It doesn't feel as though his ankle is broken, just badly bruised and caught underneath the rock.
Right?
So he shuffles to move the rock away.
Can you get it loose?
Suddenly, gravel. A lot of gravel.
Shit!
Falls onto his feet, his legs, his torso, and the weight of it all forced the rock harder down onto his foot and locks it in place. Every time he tries to move, more rubble
You just make it
falls,
worse,
holding
yeah.
him tighter. He is stuck.
Very stuck.
This is Sand Cave. This man is Floyd Collins.
Floyd Collins.
He is trapped in absolute darkness, 60 feet deep below the
Oh,
earth.
fuck that. Oh my god, that is like my worst nightmare. I can't even imagine what was going through his head. That's terrifying.
Darkness. 60 feet deep below the earth. All of his limbs held in place. At the very bottom of this.
Oh my god. That's seeing the like 3D render of this. I mean, that gives you like an insane perspective of how far down he was. That was terrifying. Like, oh my god. Simply no, yeah, no shit.
Deep below the earth. All of his limbs held in place. At the very bottom of this.
Hell no.
But before I tell you what happens next, ad
Ads.
time. Speaking of
Oh shit, I paused the video.
But before I tell you what happens next,
Ad time.
ad time. Speaking of people trapped in a cave, World of Tanks. World of Tanks is not only the best game I have ever played, it is the only game I have ever played. It's like cars, but tanks. Picture this.
Ciao.
You're a hot new T-3485M, and you've just joined the battle because some Cromwell B tank bagged your entire family.
No! They won't get away with this. They won't get away with this. How dare they teabag my family?
It's time because some Cromwell B tank bagged your entire family. It's time for revenge. You must use strategy. You must use stealth. You must use your wits to defeat your enemies. Use long range or short range. It's available on console, but I want you to get it on PC. Imagine a world war, but there are tanks involved this time. Yeah, now you're getting it. When you've seen as many messed up tanks as I have, you get a little cynical about the world. My God. Look at all the different tanks. You can collectomize and customize them
Baby
all. Massive battles where you can constantly team kill and ruin other people's good time.
Oh, it's perfect game for me. It's perfect game. Team killing? Friendly fire? Oh my god, sign me up.
Battles where you can constantly team kill and ruin other people's good time.
What the f***? I'm on your f***!
Design engine, it's historically accurate, especially the Japanese robot tanks. Ooh, look, the tanks are kissing. Progressive. Use the invite code TANKMANIA and get the Excelsior. 250k credits. Other stuff. Go to the link in the description and use the invite code TANKMANIA. Here's what you do. Get World of Tanks. Put that on one screen. Then on a
Right.
second monitor, you'll watch the next hour of this video while you play the game. I am contractually
Perfection, I
obliged to
agree.
say thank you for being a friend. So,
Tank docking? Linku. Thank you for being a friend. Oh, he's so amazing with his ads. He's so good. Oh my gosh.
contractually obliged to say thank you for being a friend. Sarge, no!
Sarge!
Kid, go on without me. No, use your repair consumable. It's too late, kid. Take care of my family for me.
Take care of my family for me.
Consumable. It's too late, kid. Take care of my family for me. No.
No!
Get it. Add over. Collins is still in the dark, unable to move. He can feel the sharp crystals on the ground poking
Ooh,
into his
yeah.
back. The ice melts above him, traces
Oh,
across the
there's
ceiling and
ice?
drips directly onto his face. He would
Well, at
shield
least he has
himself against
water.
the dripping, except that his right arm is wedged against the roof of the cave, and his left is stuck in place underneath his torso. The cold water dripping onto him pools underneath
Oh,
him.
that's chilly.
Floyd took
Very
slow, steady
chilly.
breaths in the concentrated dark. When he did attempt to shuffle, more gravel and rocks would tumble from above and pile onto his feet, so nothing would work. He raked his fingers against the wall until blood pooled underneath his nails, and he realized that there was only one option left. Call out for help.
Yeah.
But wait. Who is Floyd, and why did he even go into a dangerous cave?
That's what I want to know.
Floyd started his caving career at the tender age of 6.
6? What? Oh my God. He yearned for the mines. He was yearning for the mines at a very young age. For the caves, the mines. Oh my gosh.
Floyd started his caving career at the tender age of 6. Growing up, exploring the caves of Kentucky was practically all he did. He would go off on his own, disappearing into the caves for many hours at a time. Have you seen that movie, The Descent? It was a lot like that. He grew up and he became embroiled in the Kentucky Cave Wars.
The Kentucky Cave Wars, the century that shaped Mammoth Cave National Park by David Randolph.
And he became embroiled in the Kentucky Cave Wars. Now, there's way too much to go into here, but the summary version is, there's this huge network of interconnected
Oh,
caves.
wow. Guide map of the Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, 1909. Wow. Wow. Whoa. That's crazy. That one kind of looks like a peepee.
But the summary version is, there's this huge network of interconnected caves called Mammoth Caves. It's actually the largest cave system in the world.
Oh,
And there's
wow,
a city
I didn't know
right
that.
in the middle of it. Cave City, real name. So of course, there are dozens of cave entrances on private...
Mammoth Cave Baptist Church. These are all the entrances. Adventures of Mammoth Cave. The only way to get all the bourbon out of Kentucky during the Prohibition.
Cave City, real name. So of course, there are dozens of cave entrances on private property all over the place. Now,
Right.
farmland in this region has very poor soil, and things do not grow well here. So, cave tourism as a source of income quickly became the prominent thing. However, a problem. There are a very large number of caves, but there are only a limited number of tourists.
Right.
So competition rapidly escalated. Visit
Hence the
my
Cave Wars.
No.
Colossal Cave number 1. Come to Onyx Cave.
So competition rapidly escalated. Visit my cave. No. Visit my cave. Big signs were erected saying, tourists, come to me. Mine is definitely open. Mine is the best. But then competitors would respond by saying, hey, by the way, we're open, but don't go to that one over there. It's really shitty. In fact, it's dangerous.
Caution to tourists. Mammoth Cave. Do not be... Oh, I can't read it. It's so blurry. Oh, wait, he has it right here. I'm so stupid. Caution to tourists. If you want to see the original and only Mammoth Cave address, do not be misled by a so-called new entrance. I was trying to read this and he had it right here. I'm so smart. I'm so smart.
Don't go to that one over there. It's really shitty. In fact, it's dangerous. This kept going further. By the end, they were blocking off the trail to each
Cave
other's
is
property,
closed.
beating each other in the street,
Oh,
and
jeez.
hiring people called cappers who would dress up as policemen and tell tourists, no, you can't go in there. That one.
That's a crime. Pretty sure that's a crime. Impersonating a police officer.
Nodes who would dress up as policemen and tell tourists, no, you can't go in there. That one. No,
Cappers.
it's illegal. Despite the fierce competition, Floyd found a cave on his property and he started advertising it to tourists.
Come to Sand
Of course,
Cave.
very few came. All right, he thought, what if I found something really special and unique? Then surely people would have to come to my cave to see it. So
Right.
he kept exploring and exploring until he found this hollow. It was filled with
It
big
is
gypsum
gorgeous.
crystals.
It
And
is
when you were in
super
there,
pretty.
It felt like a completely alien world. But it was barely accessible. This small tunnel is the only way in. He would need to dig for months to open it up to tourists, but he knew he could do it. Back to the competition. They knew the value of this cave. They knew the potential, they wanted it for themselves, and they wanted Collins gone. A few months prior, a group of 5 men showed up to his farm unannounced.
Ah, hand over that lease, Floyd.
They said. Floyd, of course, refused. So they turned to violence, knocking him down.
So they turned to violence. As expected.
Floyd, of course, refused. So they turned to violence, knocking him down and savaging the helpless man until Homer, Floyd's brother, came running out of the
Oh, he
house
got
with a
a gun.
shotgun. But Floyd was not deterred. He spent 12 hours a day, every day,
Holy
for
shit.
months.
12 hours a day? Oh my gosh. I mean, the dedication. I give him that. The dedication.
Floyd was not deterred. He spent 12 hours a day, every day, for months, clearing gravel and stone, chipping away at that passage. He would open it up to tourists, make his cave an incredible attraction,
The new
and
sand
make
cave.
his dreams come true.
I applaud his
So
determination.
there's Floyd in the dark, yelling out for help.
Okay, what does this say?
Yelling into-
Hour 0, January 30th, 10 a.m. It's a Friday. You know, I'm not a fan of cave diving, but I definitely applaud this man for his determination and dedication.
Is anyone
So there's Floyd in the dark, yelling out for help, yelling into the pitch black. After a while, his voice would give out, and he would have to sleep to recuperate.
Oh my god, so now it's
He
2
would then
hours
wake
later,
sometime
or several hours later.
Remember where he is, and begin yelling again for help. Here he remained in the dark for the next 23 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Quickly you might wonder, how come no one's come for him after 23 hours? Well, Sand Cave resides on a 200-acre farm.
Oh,
There are several homes on
jeez.
this property with other families. One of them, of course, is Colin's house, where Floyd's father,
This is the
Lee,
actual house.
resides.
Oh.
Now, Lee and Floyd constantly
Lee and
get into
Floyd share
fights
the
about
title
how to
and
run
lease.
things. Lee wants his son to concentrate on farming, and Floyd wants to concentrate on cave tourism. Arguments would often get heated. And Lee was also a bit of a drunk. It was doubtful that he would even notice if his son Floyd was missing. Also not helping things, Floyd regularly lodged at 2 other homes on the farm.
Oh.
So when he didn't return to one host, they would presume that he was
He's at the
staying
other
with
one.
the other.
Yeah.
And, even worse still, he was known to occasionally sleep in the cave. Doing stints
Goodness.
of up to 30 hours in there without resurfacing. Regardless, around the 23-hour mark, a few locals started to suspect
January
that, hey, something
31st.
might be
9 a.m. Saturday.
around the 23-hour mark. A few locals started to suspect that, hey, something might be wrong, and they went to check up on him. And here, they spotted his jacket, still hung up.
Oh, yeah.
Unusual. They went deeper. However, there was only
His
one
jacket.
person small enough to make it as far as the turnaround room. This was a 17-year-old Jewel Estes. He
Local
refused to
teen.
go into the squeeze, but if he yelled, Floyd would probably hear him.
Floyd!
And Collins yelled back.
Yes, I'm here.
RVA. Hour
Estes
24.
emerges from the cave.
Okay, we know he's trapped, and we know where he is.
So, a whole troop of locals show up. Out of my way. Say a bunch of men who would confidently charge into the cave. But once they reach the final squeeze,
Nope. Nope. Nope.
they would
I
charge.
mean, I can't blame them. That's like, you want to save him, but also, I mean, yeah, that's a rough situation to be in.
Straight.
Nope. Nope.
They would charge straight back out again, saying things like,
There's no way any man could fit in there.
"Out of my way," they would say as they were heading in the reverse direction. So a few more hours passed. Word would spread around Cave City and the neighboring areas. Slowly, a crowd formed outside Sand Cave.
Floyd in the cave. Floyd in the cave. Oh my god. Floyd.
Hour 28.
Over in Louisville,
Louisville,
Floyd's
Louisville,
22-year-old brother,
Louisville.
Homer, he gets a phone call.
Hello? I see. My brother. He's trapped in a cave? I'm on my way.
Homer jumps on a coach and
To
makes his way
Cave City.
to Floyd's cave.
Hour
Homer
38.
struts up to the scene. He walks past the growing crowd of unhelpful onlookers, makes a beeline for the cave,
Unhelpful onlookers.
He walks past the growing crowd of unhelpful onlookers and makes a beeline for the cave to save his brother. In he goes, down the chute, through the narrowing passages, down on his hands and knees towards the turnaround room. And when he arrives, he does not hesitate. He squeezes into the hole, scrambles his way through to the ledge on the other side. He sees Floyd below and slides down to meet him.
Floyd!
Sup?
Right, probably wasn't that casual.
Oh, thank.
Sup, bro? You gonna help?
To meet him.
Floyd!
Sup?
Right, probably wasn't that casual.
Oh, thank God you're here.
Homer took a moment to shine his light around the area and assess the situation. It was not good. This
We're gonna
rock
need
formation
so
is
much
go-
baby oil to get him out of there. We're gonna need Diddy level of baby oil to get this man out of here.
going to prove it was not good. This rock formation is going to prove almost impossible to work around.
Oh man.
Alright, so let's have a look. Floyd is here. The rock is here, pinning his...
Hold on, I saw text. I want to read it real quick.
Alright, so let's have a look.
Now we have simplified some of the more complicated geometry of the cave. There's technically a shelf area after the squeeze that faces in the reverse direction and a couple of other small things. To explain would require a lot of uninteresting detail and has no bearing on the story or how the events unfolded.
Almost impossible to work around. Alright, so let's have a look. Floyd is here. The rock is here, pinning his ankle. He's surrounded by rubble, and there's a pocket of gravel above him ready to fall.
Oh,
However,
man.
because this opening is so small, there are only two viable ways of reaching Floyd and that gravel. Option 1, the most obvious.
Feet first. Yeah.
But if you do this, you have to kind of squat, and your own torso obstructs access to the rubble. Otherwise, option 2, come
Head
down head
first.
first. That will give you better access, but you're trying to move hundreds of pounds of gravel upside down. Worse yet, there's barely an inch around Collins on either side, so good luck getting your arm down near Floyd's ankle to actually free him from the wedged rock. Homer
Yeah.
looks around and yells.
Man.
Quickly! Some food and drink!
They send it through. But first, Homer gives Floyd a liter of coffee to warm him up. Then, as many sausage sandwiches as he can stomach. He
All that sausage.
to warm him up. Then, as many sausage sandwiches as he can stomach. He manages to down 9 of them. Dietary
Holy! Holy glizzies! Oh my god! He was hungry, that's for sure. Oh my goodness!
as he can stomach. He manages to down 9 of them. Dietary advice has changed since the 1920s.
Feeling better?
Much better.
Then Homer went to task. He began removing
That is a
rocks
lot
and
of
gravel,
glizzies.
tiny scoop at a time, with the help of an old syrup can.
Oh, that's the actual can. Hour 47.
For the next 8 hours, he toiled. First with hands, then, once enough was cleared, using a crowbar to scoop behind his brother.
Ooh,
scraping
that's
away
smart,
sharp
yeah.
protrusions as he went. It was slow progress. Virtually futile. While holding up his body weight with one arm, he would have to use the other to scoop away gravel. Then,
Man,
watch
all
as
that blood rushing to his head. I can't even imagine. That must have made him so dizzy. Jeez. Oh, man. Like, being in that position for so long. Adrenaline can keep you going? Oh, absolutely.
new gravel to use the other to scoop away gravel. Then watch as new gravel would suddenly fall from above and undo all the work. Homer stayed for as
Shit.
long as he could, but after several hours, he was ragged. His teeth chattered uncontrollably, his lungs choked with dust, and the skin on his fingers shredded from the rubble.
Oh, yeah.
However, something new. By the time Homer reached outside, he was surprised to see a mob of approximately 100 men and women
Holy
standing
crap.
around, drinking, squabbling, and talking big game about how they too were going to save Floyd.
I mean, they're just standing around doing nothing. They're not being very helpful.
About how they
All
too
talk, no
were going
walk.
to save Floyd. The press was also present to help people gawk from afar.
Of course.
Homer shunned them all and rested up in a small tent in front of the cave. Strangers immediately crowded around him to ask innocent but, frankly, frustrating questions and offer unsolicited, obvious advice as well as wildly impractical solutions. Listen, you just have to untie his shoe.
Those are Tim's, right?
As well as wildly impractical solutions. Listen, you just have to untie his shoes. Free the foot, free the man, right, fellas?
No. Let's hire a contortionist. We get
A
a hammer and a chisel.
contortionist?
We'll have him back by supper.
Ah, we should jerk him off, right, guys?
What? Excuse me?
All right.
We'll have him back by supper.
Ah, we should jerk him off, right, guys? All right, I made that third guy up, but you get the idea. we should jerk him off, right, guys? All right, I made that third guy up, but you get the idea. A lot of these guys are drunk, by the way, so the discussion very quickly
Fantastic.
went from 0 to 100. Hey, new idea. How about dynamite? We'll simply blow him out. One group formed, insisting it was a great idea, and
No.
another saying, no, the explosion.
Floyd himself had used dynamite in prior weeks to clear out passages in the cave, is what the bottom text says.
One group formed, insisting it was a great idea, and another saying, no, the explosion will kill him, and the weight of the new rocks will surely crush him. They shouted at each other for a while, until someone suggested, hey, how about gas torches? We can use acetylene torches to cut through the rock and make the hole bigger. No, that'll cook him, or the gas will fill the cave and kill
Yeah?
everyone inside. they fought over that too. But by far the most common suggestion was to simply cut off the foot. Never mind that the foot itself was unreachable, and never mind that he'd lose so much blood he might not make it back to the surface.
Oh,
And never mind
exactly.
even more that Floyd was strongly reluctant to the idea.
Whatever you do, don't cut my foot off.
Not the foot! Anything but that! Not the footies!
To the idea.
Whatever you do, don't cut my foot off.
Homer could have easily ignored all of this pointless bickering, except that not one of them would just brave the damn cave
And go in.
continue
Yeah.
shoveling away the gravel.
Bunch of
The
pussies.
formula was always the same. Bold, fearless men would strut into the cave with sandwiches and blankets, then reach the turnaround room and immediately lose their nerve, then dump it all outside of the hole, and then return back outside and go, oh, absolutely. No, he says, thanks for the food. Thank you so much. Yum, yum. No one would go through that
Oh,
squeeze.
look at all that. This is the hole? Right there? Oh my god. See it next to, like, the bottles and stuff. Ooh. Oh my god. Ooh.
So much. Yum, yum. No one would go through that squeeze. Dozens more men would try. All of them would fail. February 2nd.
Oh my god,
9
hour
a.m.
71.
So far, Homer has been the only person who has been face to face with Floyd. And that would continue to be true until here we are at the Louisville Courier. There's a spirited young newshawk
William
named William
Miller.
He's talking to his boss, and he's trying to convince him that it's a great idea for him to cover the story of the man trapped in the cave.
Listen up, boss. I'm hearing talk of a man in a cave. He's stuck down there, and I want to get down there too. Get to the nitty-gritty, you hear?
This is an opportunity for some good PR, Miller. I'm in. But I want us to sponsor that rescue. Picture this. Man saved from cave by Louisville Courier, the finest newspaper in the state. That'll drum up plenty of interest.
24-carat idea, boss. I'll make it happen. I'll get down there toot sweet.
So off Miller goes to Floyd's cave. Back over at the cave, Homer is sitting outside trying to recuperate. As Miller wanders up, Homer is not interested in giving an interview. He wants someone to help. So
I
as
mean,
Miller
I can't blame him. Like, I'd be pissed off too. No one's helping. They're all a bunch of, like, all talk, no show.
interested in giving an interview. He wants someone to help. So as Miller asks questions, Homer tries his best to show contempt.
Sure.
Frustrated, Homer bluntly says,
Listen, you want more information? The hole's right behind me.
Trap, the story of Floyd Collins, 2011, page 73 by Robert K. Murray.
frustrated, Homer
This is
bluntly
a quote
says,
from
Listen,
the
you
book.
want more information? The hole's right behind me. Why don't you go take a look yourself?
Miller thinks for a moment, then says, yeah, all right. He grabs a lantern and crouches down to enter the cave. As he walked, cold water filled his shoes. He was stepping in newly formed puddles. That water is coming from the inside of the cave as the temperature slowly increases and the frost inside melts.
Oh, it's
The
melting.
stable environment of the cave is starting to
Oh,
change.
shit.
That is thanks in no small part to the growing crowd of gawkers. To stay warm,
And all the
they were building fires
fires,
and hanging around the
yeah.
entrance of the cave to shelter from the elements. But nonetheless, Miller presses on, and all that's left is that final squeeze, and he's there. He stops. He takes a moment and decides to call out to Floyd.
Floyd!
Hearing there is someone on the other side, he feels ashamed not to try. Into the dark he went, through the 9-inch squeeze. The crystal gypsum cuts into his elbows and tugs at his clothes. He gets snagged. He's spluttering through the pools of muddy water. He stops, collects himself, and pushes on. He can barely inhale. If he gets stuck in here, he can only hope that someone else can come in from behind
and pull him out.
But eventually, he makes it through. Fantastic. He is now on his belly, looking down at Floyd. He sat right next to Floyd, ready to interview him. But Floyd didn't really answer any of his questions. At the moment, he is sitting in a pool of water.
I mean, why is the first thing that you're trying to do is interview this poor man? You see the situation he's in. I think the last thing he wants to do is answer your fucking questions. Jeez. It's his job. I know. But it's like, do you really expect him to want to do an interview considering the situation?
That is 12 degrees of his questions. At the moment, he is sitting in a pool of water that is 12 degrees, slowly sapping his body temperature.
Oh my
He is
God.
dying from exposure.
Yeah?
The cold is diminishing Floyd's mental faculties, and he can barely make sentences. There's nothing Miller can do, so he hurriedly turns around. He worked his way back through the squeeze, past the turnaround room, and out into the daylight. Homer turns to Miller. Proof that he had made it all the way to Floyd is soaked onto his mud-stained clothes. No longer frustrated with the young reporter, instead, he excitedly runs over to him.
You and me. Together, we
Let's
can
do
get
it.
Floyd out of there.
Yeah!
Now, there were two people who could help rescue Floyd.
The other ones had no balls.
Now, helping with the rescue was not the only thing that Miller did for Floyd. Perhaps even more crucially,
I'm alive,
his
Collins Radios.
was responsible for turning Floyd into a nationwide story. His reporting was responsible for turning Floyd into a nationwide story. Miller took interviews, relayed first-person accounts, and would spend many hours with Floyd himself in that cave. He gave an insight into the story that only a first-person account could, and in turn, gave the public a figure who they would deeply relate to. Updates to the story would be printed in over 1,000 local and national newspapers. You couldn't escape it. It was
Yeah.
also the era when radio became a regular feature for regular Americans. Radio allowed something new: hourly updates, letting people get engrossed into the story.
America's finest radio.
Mostly thanks to Miller, the story of Floyd over the next week would grow and grow. And everybody wanted to know, will this man make it? Back outside the cave, someone new entered the story.
Lieutenant Robert Burdon. Firefighter. A firefighter.
Back outside the cave, someone new entered the story. Robert Burton. He would become the third man to reach Floyd, a firefighter from Louisville. Thin-framed, but muscular. He got scratched up pretty good and soaked by the pooling water. But he made it through with little fuss, and he confidently lowered himself down to Floyd's position. It was not an optimistic sight. Floyd's condition was deteriorating.
Oh no.
We've got a heck of a problem.
And this is the 1925 cave rescue that captivated the nation, written by Lucas Riley Mental Floss, July 13, 2018.
Optimistic sight. Floyd's condition was deteriorating.
Well, we've got a heck of a problem here, but I think I can get you out with a rope.
Floyd nods in approval.
Go on.
We might just pull your bloody leg off.
Just pull my leg off then. Get me out of here.
Burton returned to the surface and faced the crowd. He announced,
We will attempt a rope pull.
A rope pull.
idea. You're just gonna tear his foot off.
"Yeah, hold on. What about the sharp rocks? Raking through all that and there'll barely be a body left to bring to the surface." A physician stepped forward with authority. "The ligaments in the foot are strong, but if you pull on the torso without a harness, all you'll likely do is tear his internal organs." Floyd was dying of exposure damage. The situation was becoming
man.
desperate. Burden put caution to the side.
The time for strategy is over.
Yeah?
Now we try brute force.
Force. I mean, kind of running out of time here. Hour 79. Oh, is he hallucinating?
Floyd, we're here. We're gonna get you out of here.
After 79 hours in the cold water, he is delirious.
Yeah,
fading
I
in
mean,
and
I would
out
be
of
too.
consciousness.
I'm gonna put the special harness around you. Burden and Miller, they're here too. We got 3 more boys right up the cave, and they're all ready to pull as hard as they can to get you out of here.
Floyd was frightened.
I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna hurt.
No one knew
Yeah.
how this would go. Floyd was given some food, some coffee, a large swig of whiskey, and a sedative.
I mean, that's smart, yeah. Try to make it as little, as painful as possible.
That's food, some coffee, a large swig of whiskey, and a sedative. That sedative would keep him calm if his ankle bone is snapped or the skin on his foot is peeled off. Floyd took the opportunity to appreciate being surrounded by friends and family.
Go on. Do it.
All right, strap him up.
Homer attached a harness. He ties on the rope. Miller gives the signal.
Ready?
Burden gives the final all clear.
Ready?
Everybody braced for the tug of war. Cave versus man.
This man.
The winner gets Floyd.
3, 2,
Do it.
1.
Pull!
Oh!
The force of 6 men pulled against the clutches of the cave. Floyd began to scream. His body was being pulled up from the rubble. The gravel was beginning to shift.
Oh!
Burden's calls echo through the cave.
Pull harder!
Oh my
Screamed
God!
harder as well. All right, so Floyd is trapped laying down like this.
Oh,
but the pulling
man.
of the rope
Oh,
reaches
the
him up
angle.
like this.
The
His torso
angle.
was being compressed
Oh,
and bent
shit.
against the ceiling of the trap. It would kill him. Floyd's screaming intensified, and through gasps was begging them to stop. But it did not stop. The agony continued.
Oh my
On
God.
and on, with no progress.
Enough! Enough! You guys are killing him!
Homer quickly spun around and started pulling against the other men. He threw his legs onto the rocks and propelled himself backwards, 1 man versus 5.
I said stop!
Coursing with adrenaline, he pulled the rope free from their clasp. The tug of war was over. The
Oh my
cave had
God.
won. Floyd fell back down. Homer, Miller, Burden, and the other 3 men were flat on their backs, panting for breath. The cave would not let this man go. The futility of the situation sank in, and all they could do was leave for now and rest. Outside, the number of spectators had increased to 200. They buzzed and
Good
asked useless
Lord.
questions, and Homer walked dejectedly past them. He sat by thinking what he could do. The cause seemed hopeless.
Homer?
Then, someone showed up who could turn things around. He looked up to see a childhood friend of both his and Floyd's, Johnny Gerald. He was just
What a
the man
name.
for the job. He was an experienced caver,
Oh!
and he was an experienced cave-trapped person rescuer.
All right, let me go see him. Well, look who it is.
Floyd perked up immediately,
Yay.
thrilled to see Gerald. The sparkle from Floyd's gold tooth could be seen in his smile.
Not the gold tooth!
Thrilled to see Gerald. The sparkle from Floyd's gold tooth could be seen in his smile.
All right, let's see what we can do.
Gerald jumped down. And then, for the next 3 hours, Gerald went back to the original plan of digging away the rocks.
Okay,
His
you're trying
stamina
that
was
again.
good, and progress was surprisingly good as well. For several more hours, he continued, just moving stone after stone. New one would fall in its place,
We're
and
on
he'd move
8 hour
that one too.
86.
By midnight, he had enough room to shift position and clear some of the gravel that was at each side of Floyd's body. Gerald would spend several more hours scooping, and it worked. Slowly, more and more of Floyd's body was coming free from the rubble. The lower shoulders, his chest, even his hips and thighs. It was incredible.
I wonder if they could pull
But
him
Gerald wasn't done
now.
yet. He kept going until practically all of the rubble,
Was
except
gone?
a few harder to reach piles down by his legs, remained. The relief from the weight made it significantly easier for Floyd to breathe and flex his limbs.
Probably could pull him now,
Over the
though.
course of those few hours, Gerald managed to scoop away more than 1,000 pounds
Holy
of debris.
shit!
But there was still a lot more to go.
1,100
And that
pounds.
rock by Floyd's foot was still holding him in place. By 2 a.m., Gerald was spent. He needed rest,
Yeah?
and he was ready to head back outside.
Floyd, tomorrow, you're gonna be a free man.
Now here you might think that things will become straightforward. They did not. Now that space had been cleared, Burden became convinced that if he could get down that passage again, he could free Floyd with another rope pull. Fate
Just
deciding with
my
both feet or
idea,
just one.
too.
So Burden marches up to the cave once again, but when he tried to enter, they shoved him in the other direction. The crowd was acting as a sort of phalanx, and anyone who tried to get in was told to get lost. They had been specifically instructed to not let anyone in, and they were especially opposed to Burden making another rope pull after word spread about the disaster of the first attempt. He tried to reason with them,
Let me try the rope pull again. It'll work this time.
but they would not hear it. Oof. Of the 3 other people who could reach him, Gerald and Homer are out exhausted and sick.
Makes sense. I mean, it
which leaves
does.
only
It
Miller,
does.
who is tied up with work. With Burden barred from entering, Floyd was left on his own, wondering why it was that no one would visit him.
Yeah.
Oh, is anyone there? Help.
Hour 90? Hour 100. Oh my
Now, the work Miller
god.
was doing was handing over reports to his boss about Sand Cave. Those reports would be fed through the news grapevine to the Associated Press, and the Associated Press would send that out to its very large affiliate network. The word was spreading about Floyd. By afternoon, Miller was done with his work and he hurried back to the cave. So he gets inside and, his eyes didn't have to work half as hard to adjust to the dark. Someone had installed electric lights.
Oh, they set up
from the entrance,
lights.
right all the
Yeah.
way down.
That's
to
smart.
Floyd.
That's smart.
Miller popped down to the lower level.
Ah, Floyd, fancy seeing you here, buddy.
When Miller reached
Fancy seeing you here.
Ah, Floyd,
Come
fancy
here
seeing you
often?
here, buddy.
When Miller reached Floyd, he took the final bulb and attached it to his collar to keep him
Oh,
warm.
at least he has some
Then,
light.
reusing
Yeah.
that syrup tin, he started offloading gravel into buckets. Those buckets were then passed up and down the cavern like an
haven't
assembly line.
left.
And so it went on for the next few hours. Until he was too tired and needed to rest. Miller then took some time to have a bit of a one-on-one with Floyd. He said, "You know, there are a lot of people in the news that are reading about you and have you in their prayers. Is there anything you want me to relay to them?" Floyd had been in that cave for over 100 hours now.
Gee,
And seeing
103.
everyone working together, Floyd was overcome with a sense of hope and relief. Floyd wanted to pass on a message. Here is what he is quoted in the newspaper.
I believed I would go to heaven. I can feel that I'm to be taken out alive and with both my feet. I kept thinking, what would happen if the rock above me would fall? It caused me to shudder.
Oh,
I kept
man.
thinking to drive my mind to something else, but it wasn't much use.
Yeah.
I couldn't do much to help those who came to help me, but I knew that a lot of people were willing to do all in their power. It gave me courage. Tuesday morning, I thought to myself, 4 days down here, and no nearer freedom than I was on the first day. How will it end? Will I get out? I couldn't think of it. I have faced death before. It doesn't frighten me, but it is so long. Tell them I am not going to give up. Tell them I'm going to fight and be patient and never forget them.
Making me sad.
Meanwhile, news of the incident kept growing. The entire country was captivated by Floyd's story. Crowds huddled around newspaper stands each morning and afternoon, waiting to get any new drips of information. It became a water cooler topic. Did you catch the latest episode of Game of Caves? He had the prayer power of practically...
Have you seen the newest episode of Game of Caves? Where Collins is trapped in his subterranean cell.
Did you catch the latest episode of Game of Caves? He had the prayer power of practically every church in the county. Even the upper echelons of government were keeping tabs on Floyd. Congress halted session to get their little updates, and even the president, Calvin Coolidge, took a glancing interest.
Oh, really?
The Floyd Collins incident would explode into the third largest non-political story between World War I and World War II.
Wow, I didn't know that.
An inundation of people to Cave City. Old population, 690. Yawn. New population, 10,000. The bank vaults ran empty as people withdrew cash to spend around town. But they wouldn't have much to spend it on because restaurants didn't even have enough stock to feed all the new customers. Practically every hotel room in the county was taken, so residents capitalized with a 1920s version of Airbnb and charged outrageous fees to offer places to sleep on their bedroom floor or in mattress-lined bathtubs.
What?
And 4,500 automobiles impatiently sat backed up for 2 miles from 20 different states to drive onto the Collins farm, turning up all the pristine green fields with their tires and turning them into brown muck paddocks. Deep below all those tourists, there's Miller, trying to free Floyd. Alright, a little bit of setup. Floyd, Miller, some remaining rubble, rock. For anyone to lift the rock by hand would be impossible because Floyd's body obstructs the hole. Miller grabs a crowbar
not enough
and shoves
room,
it through the gap. Now he's going to lever it off Floyd's foot. Cool. The crowbar is now primed in place.
It's in place.
Next, he takes a jack. He positions it on top of the crowbar so that it will be forced against the ceiling. However, problem, that jack is too big. It doesn't fit. Miller yells up the tunnel for a smaller one, but this took some time. And when it arrived, too small, won't reach the ceiling. But instead of sitting for another one, Miller takes 2 blocks of wood and bolsters them underneath the crowbar. Right, so the crowbar now sits higher, it fulcrums against the blocks, and the jack is sitting on top. All Miller has to do is expand the jack, which he will do using this spanner, holding it at the very tips of his fingers. Sounds easy. It's not.
You would think so, yeah.
Let's get him out of there.
All right, let's go.
The jack expanded, and the crowbar took strain. The whole thing slid apart with a pang.
Oh, no!
Floyd wasn't hurt, but Miller was contorting and exerting his whole body from back to fingertip. They tried again. Same result. Undeterred, Miller caught his breath and gave it another shot. He slowly turned the jack.
It's not sturdy enough? Yeah.
Building. And this time, Miller could feel the rock move. It bloody moved. He kept turning the wrench and the rock moved a little more. His hands were shaking, knees weak, his arms are heavy.
Mom's spaghetti is on his sweater already. God dang it.
Pressure building. And this time, Miller could feel the rock move. It bloody moved. He kept turning the wrench and the rock moved a little more. His hands were shaking, knees weak, his arms are heavy. Pang. One of the wood blocks flew. It all scattered apart. The rock painfully slammed back down on Colin's foot.
You'll get it next time, Miller. Try again.
Miller kept on trying. Countless attempts. He kept pushing himself deeper into the trap, finding new approaches. Damn the blocks. No, try the blocks again. Clear some more rubble. Floyd, unable to help physically, is supporting him in spirit at least, cheering him on.
Yay!
And Miller kept going and going
You can
and
do
going
it!
until he had nothing left.
Man.
For the next 4 hours, he
112
tried.
hours.
No progress. Miller was exhausted. He couldn't do this on his own, but he was the only one slim enough to get in through the gap. The group decided to concede for now and return to the surface.
What about him? No. What about... Oh, through the gap. Never mind. I was gonna say the other
Through the
guy
gap.
fit,
The group decided
but
to
not
concede.
necessarily the gap between Floyd and the spot he stuck in. Never mind. I was gonna say this guy fit, but not... The problem is the gap above Floyd's body. Yeah. I thought he was referring to the other gap. Yeah.
But he was the only one slim enough to get in through the gap. The group decided to concede for now and return to the surface. They would take just a small break, but it looked to everyone like there was a clear way to get this man out. So Miller and Burden crawled back through the mud and the wines of the cave. As they made their way through, the cave was visibly sagging. The ceiling seemed lower.
Sagging?
Parts were harder to navigate than before, doubly so with their bruised and rock-shredded hands. They stepped outside and took in the fresh country.
Is it because of the moisture? The heat? Yeah. It's because of the moisture in the ice, right? That's melting. Yeah. Oh no. All the people, the fires. Oh no. The lights, yeah, almost forgot. Yeah, the lights on the string. Oh shit. I totally forgot about those. The electric lights, yeah. Oh no.
But as rock-shredded hands, they stepped outside and took in the
Give them
fresh
light to keep
country
them
air.
warm, yeah,
But
yes.
as their eyes adjusted to the light, they saw something new. A man named Henry Carmichael was standing in front of a sizable crowd.
Superintendent of Kentucky Rock Asphalt Co.
Something new. A man named Henry Carmichael was standing in front of a sizable crowd of engineers in hard hats and soldiers in military uniforms.
Man, they
Now,
brought
Henry
out the
is the
whole army.
superintendent of the Kentucky Rock Asphalt Company. The engineers are his employees, and the men in military garb are the National Guard.
Oh, the
Now,
National
Carmichael has been
Guard.
quietly looking at the situation from afar, and he
Took them a while to get here, huh? Jeez.
hard. Now, Carmichael has been quietly looking at the situation from afar, and he is thoroughly unimpressed. This is no rescue operation. Once Miller and Co. call it quits, Carmichael had 2 of his employees do a proper survey of the cave and see if it was suitable to bring in his whole team of men. The 2 surveyors go in. As the passage led down to Floyd, it was showing alarming signs of deterioration.
Oh no.
You could see the splitting of the rock
Yeah.
above. Boards were slipping out of place or splintering. Small rocks tumbled down the walls. They soon came back with a report. It was not good.
Not good at
So the
all.
following is a recounting of events from one of Carmichael's men, Casey Jones. Casey and another worker spent about an hour in the cave, surveying its condition, looking at the boards, the ceiling, the stability of the walls. Casey continued deeper towards Floyd. He was fighting against his nerves. The shifting of the rock pinged his every instinct to flee.
Oh,
But he could
yeah?
hear Floyd calling out for help in the distance.
Oh, man.
Summoning all of his courage, he pushed himself on, through the final squeeze and over the ledge that looked down on Floyd. Rubble continued to drop from the ceiling, bouncing all around him. The ceiling felt closer to him than it was before, but maybe that was just the dark playing tricks?
Please, come down.
I can't right now, Floyd, but I will when I get back.
That's
Now,
a
Casey
quote
is
from
being
the
pulled in
book
2
again.
directions. No, come back, come on. Let's get out of here already.
Please, I'm so thirsty.
Okay.
Casey climbed down next to Floyd.
Quick, drink.
Said Casey
Oh,
as he
to get
tried
some
to pour
water in
some
him.
coffee
Yeah.
into Floyd's
Or
mouth.
coffee. I'm
But
sorry.
Floyd turned his head and kept his lips pursed. The rocks were falling at a faster rate now, the loud cracking out above, sounding like thunder. In that moment, Casey realized what was happening. Floyd was not really asking for a drink. Floyd knew that a cave-in was inevitable. Scared.
Oh, no, I know. I already know. I think I know what he's implying. Oh, man. No, I don't even think it's that. I think he wanted to be put out of his misery before it caved in. I don't even think he would want to have someone go with him, per se. My guess is he wanted to be put out of his misery before it caved in.
For a drink. Floyd knew that a cave-in was inevitable. Scared and approaching his 5th day trapped, he was completely at his wit's end.
Yeah.
He knew he was about to be trapped in that cave, and he didn't want to be trapped alone.
For God's sake, Casey, come on. You're gonna get us killed.
Stay with me, please. Don't leave.
Casey quickly turned away and scrambled back up the ledge.
Okay, never
He
mind.
made
You
his
guys
way
were
back through
right.
the finals.
You guys were right. He didn't want to be alone. I just assumed he wanted to be put out of his misery rather than be crushed to death. You know? That's where my mind went.
Squeeze. Quickly turned away and scrambled back up the ledge. He made his way back through the final squeeze, his limbs scrambling against the cave walls. It seemed as if everything around him was shrinking. He made it out, and he joined his co-worker. They both turned around and watched on in horror as the yellow of the bowl was being swallowed by the dark.
Oh my God.
Rubble fell fast and heavy until no light
It completely
could be
caved
seen
in.
at
Yeah.
all. Rocks blocked out Floyd's panicked cries. The one route to Floyd was now sealed shut, a tomb of rock and dust.
If I knew that was inevitable, yeah, I would have been asked to be put out of my misery. Personally, obviously, I've never been in this situation. I never want to be in this kind of situation. But if I was, I would be asked to be put out. I would not want to die like that.
Sealed shut, a tomb of rock and dust. It's morning.
118
Burden and Miller
hours.
jump out of their tents, ready for the day. They're feeling optimistic. Today will be the day that
Oh,
they
but
get
they don't
Floyd
know,
up.
do they?
And they're packing some new tools to help them with the job. Wire to wrap around the wooden blocks, that'll stop them from slipping. And a blowtorch to carve away some of the rock, make the hole a bit bigger.
They don't know, do
But
they?
when Miller got to the turnaround room, all of that optimism
Oh,
left him.
shit.
The entrance to the squeeze was now just a pile of debris. Miller froze, staring at it for a long while. Then he sighed and did the only thing he could think.
Move it.
Make an opening through that rubble.
Right.
But the more he raked away, the more fell in its place. It was never ending. He persisted, ignoring the danger around him. Thud.
Oh.
A large piece of debris landed on him.
Oh,
Luckily,
shit.
it was only dried clay.
Okay.
He is uninjured. But recognizing the danger, Miller returned to the surface. 15 minutes later, he emerged from the cave with a bloodied up nose and bruises down his back and shoulders. Burden caught sight and races over to him. Miller just says, "For God's sake, don't let anyone go back in there." Miller leaves the site. Burden doesn't know what to do. Over at the house, Homer is terribly ill and out of action, and that just leaves Gerald. Now he comes marching.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he hears the
yeah,
news,
Gerald.
and he is livid. He told the crowds to keep away or the whole thing would cave in, and they didn't listen. Then exactly that thing happened. And what were they supposed to do now? The rest of the day was spent squabbling and bickering over who was to blame. You caused the cave-in. No, you caused the cave-in.
Oh, cave your bloody head in, mate.
And
Jeez. Oh my God, yes, let's sit here and argue and bicker and not save this poor man. Oh my God.
caused the cave-in. No, you caused the cave-in.
Oh, cave your bloody head in, mate.
And Floyd spent the rest of that day alone.
Oh, man. I feel so bad.
The surveyors continued checking the cave throughout the day. At 6 p.m., Carmichael had ordered everyone to an assembly. Gerald took the floor. He was going to give this one last shot. Gerald addressed the crowd.
Listen up. There's death down there.
No, this quote is also attributed to Henry Carmichael Trapped, the story of Floyd Collins. Is what it says.
The crowd.
Listen up. There's death down there. The walls and
No
ceilings
shit.
are crumbling. Unless you're determined to take the biggest chance you ever took in your life, tell me now and stay outside.
Next, they told all the Gawkers to get the hell out of the cave. Clear off. And so...
They should have done that to begin with! All the people gawking and bickering and not doing anything to help should have left, should have been told to leave way sooner.
Told all the Gawkers to get the hell out of the cave. Clear off. And so, Gerald went in and out of that cave half a dozen times, working away at the rubble, blocking access to Floyd, leaving only when he suspected another cave-in or to get food and water. Men on the sidelines were supplying new timber. A group of men helped Gerald to prop up the ceiling.
Oh, that's smart.
and
Prop
guard
it
against
up.
further
Yeah.
collapse. Gerald toiled away at the pile, eager to reach his friend. He worked steadily, mindful of the danger poised right above him. Bit by bit, he reduced that pile.
At least some of these people had balls.
He called out, yelling updates through the hole.
Bad news. We can't reach you. But hold on. We're coming.
Gerald continued. The pile got smaller still. The gap was large enough now that Gerald thought he might be able to fit.
Okay, that's enough. Floyd, I'm going for now. But when I get back, I'm gonna get you out of there.
Gerald scrambled back out the cave, over to the men, and through panted breaths he said,
Gather the equipment, and in an hour's time, it's gonna be me and Floyd coming out of that cave.
Hour 1:32.
Gerald entered Sand Cave for his final time. The walls had been reinforced, but mud and water was accumulating everywhere.
Yeah.
He waded through it and pressed on past the danger of the sagging ceiling. With determination on his face and a grease gun clutched in his right hand,
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. I'm surprised he didn't try to use something like that sooner.
With determination on his face and a grease gun clutched in his right hand, he scrambled towards Floyd. But before the final squeeze, he stopped. It was all gone. Another cave-in, even worse than the first.
Oh no!
He thought about how he could have been on the other side of that rubble. His mind raced, weighing out what to do. He shouted.
Floyd!
As a not-so-subtle reminder of the danger he was in, a rock fell from the ceiling and cracked Gerald across the head.
Oh,
Luckily, just a small one. He felt around for blood and kept shouting.
Floyd!
He could definitely hear a voice, but it was faint. Gerald was scared that this was Floyd's last shot at rescue, and he threw himself against the pile and pulled it away with finger and nail, launching the debris behind him with force. Tearing at the pile like a man on fire. Dust bellowed, rocks flew, and he kept shouting out for Floyd as he went.
Floyd!
Until finally, the cave had had enough. It let loose a large, jagged rock aimed straight at Gerald, striking him on his back.
Oh no!
Gerald stumbled out of that cave, injured and defeated.
Hour
Only after the cave-ins did they
1:42.
start to think about all of the things that they could have done.
Wait, why didn't we rig a portable telephone line? That would have been incredibly simple here in 1925.
Yeah, why have we been running in and out to deliver updates?
Why didn't we give him an AM radio? He could have had something to listen to and receive messages of support from the public.
Wait, why don't we rig up a tarpaulin so we could lift his torso up so he wouldn't be slowly dying?
Maybe if we didn't sit around drinking and arguing, we would have had these ideas to begin with. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe if we wouldn't be gawking and bickering and drinking. Good lord.
Wait, why don't we rig up a tarpaulin so we could lift his torso up so he wouldn't be slowly dying of exposure?
Oh God, why didn't we run a feeding tube? That's also a technology we have in 1925.
All too late. Now what?
Ay,
The
ay,
one
ay.
route to get to Floyd is closed forever. That meant two options. Number one, capitulation. Surrender him to the
Cave lens, yeah.
Well, number two, dig down from directly above Floyd.
It's
Now, the prospect
dangerous,
of digging from
but
above seemed
I
almost
mean,
fanciful.
yeah.
At least it did in the beginning. But luckily, they had some help. Owing to Miller's reporting, Floyd had become practically the most famous person in the country.
Thank you for the raid, Professor. Hello. I hope you had a good stream. Hello, hello. Thank you for the raids. What were you doing? Let's see. Oh, how was Mario Kart?
Floyd had become practically the most famous person in the country. The rescue had become a
William
high
J.
priority for the governor
Fields.
of Kentucky. Lieutenant General Denhart enters the scene.
Former
He's been
Brigadier
updated on the
General.
situation, and following shortly behind
Wait,
him,
what is that text? He'll go on to murder his girlfriend, Verna Taylor. He's brought to trial, but results in a hung jury.
behind him is a small... He's been updated on the
Before
situation.
his retrial, Verna's brothers tracked him down and shot him to death. They were all acquitted. Oh my god!
Lieutenant General Denhart enters the scene. He's been updated on the situation, and following shortly behind him is a small army of miners and engineers. He declared to the despondent crowd, "Gentlemen, I am here on behalf of the governor. The purse strings of Kentucky
governor.
are open. Take this blank check and bring that man out alive."
Oh, so they are offering rewards now.
Floyd,
You
in
get
that
him out
cold,
alive,
wet
you get a
confine,
reward.
Could not have imagined the scale of the operation that was going on 55 feet above him. Authorities assumed control of Colin's rescue. Denhart gave Carmichael control over the site, and Carmichael raced to get to work. Carmichael rallied up his men, his fleet of expensive high-tech machinery. Professional groups were brought in from all across the state.
Oh, wow. Louisville and National Railroad, Southern Signal Company, U.S. Mines Rescue Team, engineers from the State Highway Commission.
Expensive high-tech machinery. Professional groups were brought in from all across the state. No longer was this the ad hoc effort of a few individuals. It was a professional and
The creeper? Wait, was there a creeper? The creeper then wait, was there a creeper? Did I miss that?
Professional groups were brought in from all across the state.
Didn't even see that. It's right here. It's right here behind the guys. I didn't even notice that. That's great.
No longer was this the ad hoc effort of a few individuals. It was a professional and organized rescue. No more squabbling and standing around. Everyone knew what they had to do, and they were working as fast as they could. But
Hour
just as hopes were rising,
146.
they were once again dashed against the rocks. They had all of this state-of-the-art machinery shipped in and assembled by the engineers and rearing to go. And it was all worthless. See, the problem is, the cave drew air into it. These diesel-powered engines pumped out enormous volumes of...
Shit! Oh my god! I didn't even think about that. Oh, all those exhaust fumes. Oh no!
choking it into it. These diesel-powered engines pumped out enormous volumes
God.
of choking exhaust.
And the pressure difference.
Within a day's operation,
Yeah.
the cave would be filled with carbon monoxide, and Floyd would be dead from asphyxiation.
If he isn't dead already.
Just as quickly as solutions would arise, the cave would parry them away. It refused to let this man go. This useless machinery was now blocking the path to Floyd, which means they would have to spend the next couple of hours disassembling all of it and moving it away. Because they're about to dig a 55-foot pit the old-fashioned way, by hand. Carmichael's expertise was in quarries, but the principles transferred over to caving and digging holes. He did some quick back-of-the-envelope math. I've got 75 men, they can dig at 2 feet per hour, and we have to go 55 feet deep. That means we can get to those men in roughly 30 hours, give or take.
Oh
now,
my
is it possible
God.
that Floyd could survive for another 30 hours?
No.
Absolutely. Let's go. 4 men started at great pace. The soil was soft and easy to dig. But as they got deeper, it became more difficult. The deeper the shaft, the narrower it became. Soon, instead of 4 men, they could only fit 2. Carmichael understood well that this was a race against time. So it was important that these 2 men were working at full capacity. Carmichael had a queue of men on the sidelines, poised to dig. And the moment that either of the 2 men in the hole slowed down,
swap them out,
they pulled them out and threw in a new one. Nonetheless, progress slowed the deeper they went. About a quarter of the way down, they reached rock, and one of the men would have to work a pickaxe, leaving only one to shovel. At this depth, rubble couldn't just be flung into a pile. They had to start loading it into buckets, which would have to be pulled
and bringing
to the
it up,
surface on
yeah.
ropes. Then men outside were ready with wheelbarrows to cart that downfield.
Oh wow, this is an actual picture of it. This is an actual picture. Wow.
Cart that downfield. Time passed. Hours passed. Night went to day. The day was hot. This was yet another problem, because it's early February, there's tons of ice still in the ground, and its exposure to the midday sun was causing it to become unstable.
Melt. Oh,
and the ground
no.
was becoming sodden as a result. Progress slowed once again. Just half a foot per hour. There was little for Colin's friends and family to do, but watch the clock and pray. Interestingly, though, there were a lot of people on the sidelines. Floyd wouldn't have believed the scene above him. Practically everything but a Ferris wheel. Food stalls were set up to cash in on the crowds. Families and church groups picnicked in the fields. Despite prohibition, moonshiners showed up to sell jugs with all of those.
Fucking moonshiners. I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I don't know. I'm conflicted. This seems tacky. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. They're making this horrible situation into like a tourist attraction. Like a man is about to lose his life. Intention is the only reason I might get rescued. No, I know. I agree there's pros and cons to it. People used to go to gallows and watch gladiators fight to death. Oh, I know. I'm very conflicted about it.
Despite prohibition,
times were different. I know.
To sell jugs with all of those X's written on them.
Ooh,
Bloody
moonshine.
juggler. I won't stop juggling till he's free. And old man Lee was there, walking around, shaking his jar, and soliciting donations. But where were Homer and Burden and Miller during all of this?
Yeah?
Okay, let's back up a bit. People did not properly understand exactly how Floyd was trapped, and the news didn't help much either. So the obvious question started to arise. Why hasn't he been rescued yet? Just clear some gravel or pull a rope. How is this so hard? Motive was attributed.
I heard they didn't even want to have him rescued at all.
I heard that they're doing all of this for publicity.
And Lee's activity of
We love
soliciting
misinformation.
donations, remember from before, further inflamed rumors.
I bet Floyd isn't even trapped in there.
These were all real rumors, and they got worse.
You know what? I've heard he comes out at night, and then he just goes back in the morning.
Other rumors included
I heard that after Floyd went into the cave, someone murdered him.
Others said,
I think they're withholding food and water from him so he dies.
This whole thing is a fraud.
It's a ruse!
It was harder and harder to ignore the hoax
Ay,
claims.
ay, ay.
Then, people started to form righteous mobs, claiming the whole thing was a fraud, and they started to get nasty.
Uh-oh.
In fact, 2 people even went to the telegraph office and pretended to be Floyd sending telegrams to his mother, who, by the way, died several years ago. Here's what it said.
What? That's
Quote,
so fucked
Please
up!
contradict statements that I am buried alive in Sand Cave. Stop. Tell mother I am all right. Stop. Am coming home. Stop. Floyd Collins.
That's
Naturally,
fucked up!
the AP
That's
published
so
these
fucked
telegrams
up!
unquestioningly, and now word is out to the press that he isn't actually in the cave after all. That made the authorities look foolish, and it could not go on. So, a hasty court-martial was arranged, and Homer, Miller, and Gerald were summoned. They hold one session on Monday and another on Tuesday.
Reddit in the 1920s. We love misinformation. Oh my jeez.
Gerald were summoned. They hold one session on Monday and another on Tuesday. Lee and everyone else is cleared of charges, a retraction is written, and things carry on.
LOL, Collins wasn't faking it. AP Newswire, LOL, Collins wasn't faking it. Lamau, even.
The men at the dig were busy as ever. They set up pumps to mitigate the water in the shaft. Men continued working in shifts and carrying away the earth. Here they are with strips of lumber to shore up the walls. They were just short of halfway.
24
and their rate
feet.
of clearing material had slowed to a mere 4 inches per hour.
Oh,
It
man.
was at that point Carmichael went, yeah, okay, sod the cavers, try the dynamite. But it hardly made a dent, and it risked causing the shaft to collapse. But despite all of these challenges, there was an optimism in the air, because everyone was keen for their turn to dig. And because they had one more thing to latch onto. He is probably still alive. Now, how do they know that? Okay, so remember that light bulb around Floyd's neck?
Right,
Well, it's
yeah.
powered by a simple copper wire. Bare copper wire is subject to very minute fluctuations in resistance. So, an engineer rigs up a radio amplifier to this wire to read the current and see those small
wait, that's so
fluctuations.
smart.
There they were. About 20 per minute. The rate of steady breathing.
I was gonna say his breathing.
As his
Yeah.
chest expands and contracts, they can read it from this device. And so, they kept going. And going.
288 hours.
30 hours was the original estimate. Now 144 hours
Oh
had
my
come and gone,
God.
and they were only at 44 feet. Then, rain fell.
Oh shit,
Rain that mixed
no!
with dirt to make mud, much of which then froze to make ice. Ice which expanded and damaged the integrity of the shaft walls. Slowing down with every hour, they continued.
50,
Many more
51,
hours
52
passed, and they were
feet.
getting close. But it was now 15 days since Floyd was first stuck in that cave,
shit.
and people had mostly lost hope.
15
That excitement in
days.
the newspapers was tempering down. Visitors began clearing out from Cave City. Many still held on to hope, but their final lifeline, that light bulb, had burnt out. And it wasn't possible to do any more readings on the radio amplifier without it. No one knew if Floyd was still alive.
411
Another 51
hours.
hours would pass before, finally, they reached the 60-foot depth.
I'm in. Chisel.
A chisel is handed down at 1:30 p.m. on Monday, February 16th. Sand Cave would open once again. Floyd had been pinned in that cave for 17 days. 12 spent without food, survivable. 12 without water, likely not survivable.
Yeah.
The light bulb, a vital source of warmth, burnt out 4 days ago. But maybe the moisture from the dripping of the cave walls provided him with some sustenance? There are stories of people surviving harsher extremes. A few final rocks were moved to allow Ed Brenner to squeeze in. Everybody stood by, absolutely silent, peering into that hole. Ed scanned the opening with his flashlight, listening carefully for movement. Then, head first, he worked his way in. The flashlight reflected dimly off the rock walls, but then caught the reflection of something gold.
Oh, his tooth!
That golden
his
flicker
tooth!
was not
His tooth.
the light bulb. It was the glistening of light reflecting off a gold tooth. His mouth hung open.
Oh, no.
Floyd was dead.
Yeah.
Brenner was helped out of the cave and he delivered the news.
Dead.
A coroner would later state that Floyd succumbed to exposure and that they had missed him by just 3 days.
Oh, did they retrieve his body at least?
About the same time that the light bulb had gone out. When the light bulb went out, so too did his one source of warmth. If it had held out, Collins might have as well. But what would they do now with the body? The shaft walls were ready to fall
they
inwards,
didn't.
and risking lives to remove a corpse was seen as just irresponsible. So it was decided by the authorities. Floyd will stay in that cave.
Man.
Now, this did not sit well with the family, but what could they do?
Yeah.
The next day, they planned the funeral. The town emptied of people, and the shaft, with Floyd at the bottom, was filled back in. But that's not quite the end of the story. But if you hung on for this long, keep holding on, because things are going to continue to get interesting.
I'm holding.
At first,
His eyebrows. His eyebrows.
for this long, keep
I'm
holding
holding,
on,
I'm
because
holding.
things are going to continue to get interesting. But first, let me do a wrap-up of where everyone is and all that stuff. Context. The Collins family already had financial hardship. Lee Collins wasn't able to raise much money from the donations. After the crowds cleared, he was seen searching the site, scanning for empty bottles that he could resell. But the owner of the land, B. Doyle, and supposed friend of Floyd, was wholly unsympathetic. He put up a sign that said, "Floyd..."
Oh, that's so... Ugh. Oh, what the fuck? Ew, that's so not okay. 200 yards away, the body of Floyd C. is imprisoned in Sand Cave. Oh, that's fucked up. No. Mm-mm.
Was wholly unsympathetic. He put up
He was
a
a
sign
holy
that
asshole.
said, "Floyd's dead body, right this way."
This is the actual sign. There are a lot of different signs all across the property, and near the entrance, wordings differ. Oh, that's just so... I can't even explain it. That's just so fucked up.
Up a sign that said, "Floyd's dead body, right this way." Come on now, take a look. Only 50 cents a gander. It's 100 years later, B's dead. Let's call it even. Also, remember those claims of Kentucky being an open purse? Well, the state reneged on the deal. They refused to pay many of the rescuers, and most of them went home without the promised pay. Many having sacrificed a week's worth of wages from missing their regular work. Some of them did make some money out of the situation, though. They signed on to a type of touring theatre called vaudeville.
Vaudeville, a type of entertainment popular in the early 20th century, featuring a mixture of specialty acts such as burlesque, comedy, and song and dance.
They signed on to a type of touring theatre called vaudeville. They roamed the country, telling their personal stories of their attempted rescue. Miller received the best offer out of anyone, however. How about 50 grand to do the shit?
Holy shit! And that was a lot of money back then. Jeez.
Miller received the best offer out of anyone, however. How about 50 grand to do the Chautauqua lecture circuit?
Basically 19th century TED Talks. Cylindrical lecture circuit in adult education and social movement in the United States. Basically 19th century TED Talks.
For out of anyone, however. How about 50 grand to do the Chautauqua lecture circuit? It'll be worth nearly $1 million in 2023.
Whoa! Jeez! That's the equivalent of what it would have been then. Phew. That's a lot of fucking money.
50 grand to do the Chautauqua lecture circuit. It'll be worth nearly $1 million in 2023 money. He declined. He stayed loyal to the Louisville Courier,
I don't blame
continuing his
him.
work there for several more years. Although, a bit of a perk, he won the 1926 Pulitzer Prize for his reporting on Floyd Collins.
Good for him.
So back to the
Good for him.
He needed money, and he agreed to do that vaudeville circuit. He stood on stage and shared with the crowd stories about growing up with his brother, Floyd, and detailing out the tragedy. But Homer made it known why he was up here on stage trying to get money. He had a mission.
I kept thinking of Floyd lying in the muck.
It's from Floyd Collins' legendary... What does that say?
He had suffered
Legendary
beyond
Splunker
our
Part
power
3.
to imagine. I would never have peace of mind if he remained there.
He wanted the money to dig Floyd up and get him out of that cave.
It's gonna make me cry. Man.
To dig Floyd up and get him out of that cave. A couple of months later, he had it. Alright, so back to Floyd. April 17th, 1925. Homer and a team
What a
of
Giga
excavators.
Chad?
They began to
Absolutely.
dig. Within a week, they had arrived at Floyd. But instead of coming down the same passage near Floyd's head, they approached from the other side where his foot was. It allowed them to remove the rock that trapped him in place.
Right.
They lifted him up from his tomb
Get him
and
out of
laid him
there.
down on the fresh air above. A couple of days later, Floyd was given an honored place at the family cemetery.
It's got me tearing up.
Next, a couple of days later, Floyd was given an honored place at the family cemetery, next to his mother. A stalagmite was taken from Sand Cave, carved with his name, and used as a headstone. And there he lay. No, that's not actually where it ends. Okay, this is where it gets weird. 2 years later, 1927, the Collins family's finances hadn't much improved. A dentist, Harry B. Thomas, walked up to the property and made Lee an offer. Sell this property to me, and I will give you $10,000. Now, Homer begged him not to, because at the time, the government was starting to buy up tons of land in the area and turn it into national parks. They had to pay at a very competitive rate. But Lee was becoming a bit old and senile by this point, and frankly, it's doubtful that he cared about Homer or Floyd or anyone else for that matter. It's 100 years later, he's dead now. Let's call it even. So, the point is, in this land sale with Thomas, Lee agreed to a very odd clause. And that clause said, everything on that property belongs to Thomas. And
Ooh, what? That's a fucking weird clause. What the fuck?
the clause said, everything on that property belongs to Thomas. And should he wish, for example, to exhume a dead body and re-embalm it and put it on display in something really tacky like a glass coffin inside a cave, maybe, then that would be...
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my god. That's just scummy and... You're putting him back where he died? He was sent by the cave. He reach into the cave. Oh, that's disgusting.
Be like a, I don't know, a glass coffin inside a cave, maybe. Then that would be his prerogative. Lee signed yes. And Thomas did exactly that. Doyle made Floyd's corpse a tourist attraction. That's right. 2 bits of gander. Come and wonder at the incredible
Ticket Officer Floyd's cave. The structure still stands today.
dead man who died in a cave. But to add insult to injury, it worked. Visitors returned to Sand Cave to gawk morbidly at Floyd. Within a few months, Thomas had turned Lee's failing farm into a successful business.
Oh, these are actual pictures of it, too.
The Collins family, naturally, is appalled by the situation.
Yeah?
And they immediately object.
As they should
try
be.
a number of times to get Floyd returned to them, including through the legal system. But somehow, incredibly, the judge ruled in Thomas's favor. And so, there he lay for the next 2 years. The cave was not done with Floyd. Until someone hatched a plan. 2 years later, it's midnight, outside Sand Cave.
Oh, someone gonna
Footsteps
steal
can
his
be heard
body?
rustling through the brush. Now, we don't know who these two men are, but we know why they are here. To rob a grave.
Yeah, get
They
him
sneak
out of
inside
there!
and clamber over the rocks in the darkness. Reaching Floyd's casket, they undo the latch and throw open the lid. There is his shriveled body. They throw him in a gunny sack, and they race off into the night. For 800 yards they carry dear Floyd, like a couple of sweaty Santas about to deliver a really terrible Christmas present. Panting, out of breath, knowing that they're going to get caught any minute, they reach the Kentucky Green River hillside. There's no time. With a 1, 2, 3, they launch his body towards the river, and Floyd goes sailing into the air, up, up, into the starlit beyond, and landing in a bush. Oh, God. The two men flee from the scene. Now, the next morning, Thomas notices
thought maybe
that,
that was his family trying to
and
get
he contacts
him.
the authorities. The police come, they dust the casket for fingerprints, and bloodhounds are given Floyd's scent and let loose into the hillside.
No.
A few hours later, they
See, I
manage
was trying to be hopeful. I thought maybe it was his family. I thought maybe it was his family.
find him and let loose into the hillside. A few hours later, they managed to find him, splayed out in a big shrub down by the river.
Oh, tell me
But
they
this
put him
time,
back.
with a leg missing. That same
Oh,
one that
no.
was trapped under the rock. So, despite his
God.
protests, it had
It still
been amputated.
happened.
Neither the leg nor the culprits were ever found. And while it would be nice to think that this was some well-intentioned duo that did this out of the kindness of their hearts to
That's what
free
I thought.
Floyd, it's
That's-
much more likely
yeah,
that it was
that's
an
what I
act
thought.
of vandalism because Floyd was simply too much of a
Oh.
hot tourist attraction. The following day, Floyd was cast back into the cave, back into his box, and it was covered by a metal lid, surrounded by a metal chain, and locked with a padlock. He was now more trapped than he had ever been.
Oh my God.
This cave had spun fate once again to make sure that its victim would never leave. And so, time passed. Floyd's body would continue to decay. The rot from his body would eventually rot the casket too.
Oh,
and every decade or so,
jeez. In total, Floyd's body would wear out 4 caskets? Jeez.
rot from his body would eventually rot the casket too. And every decade or so, it would need to be replaced. A few years later, he was no longer on display. But even then, he remained in that box for many more years. By 1989, Floyd's cave was purchased by Mammoth Cave National Park, and it was closed to the public.
Good.
There would be no more visitors. The entrance itself to Floyd's cave was closed with a steel gate and bolted, then welded shut. But the Collins family never gave up objecting to Collins' body being left in the cave.
As they should.
And here is where the story ends. In 1989, at the Collins' request, the National Park Service ventured into Floyd's cave. Continuing on a more than 60-year tradition, a team of people worked over the course of several days to remove him from the cave. They took him out, left the cave, locked it behind them, and laid Floyd to rest at the Mammoth Cave Baptist Church.
At least I got him out. Oh my god, it's making me tear up.
Cemetery. After 64 years in Sand Cave, he is now finally
crazy.
At peace.
Yeah.
The end.
Oh, that's his tombstone. Finally free, yeah. It's making me cry. He should have been allowed to rest way sooner than that.
At peace. The end. Thank you to Wendigoon as Floyd.
If you don't let me out, I'm going to hire a gang of hitmen to come to your house and kill your family.
Samito as Homer.
The BTS meal McDonald's bag that has
I'm
McDonald's
hungry.
and BTS. Shut the fuck up and eat some BTS, bro.
Ordinary Things as Miller.
I'm enthusiastic, but would ultimately duck out the back exit.
Rusty Cage as Gerald.
Oh, well, hello there. Haven't seen y'all in a while. Welcome to my new home.
And many kudos as Burden.
Hey, buddy. You right down there?
I can.
You a little sleepy?
I can get out.
We get you a coffee?
Cold and
Little cup of Joe? Little cup of Joseph?
I'm stuck.
A cup of Joseph from a little sleepy guy?
And do not forget, World of Tanks. None of this would have happened if Floyd had got World of...
If only he would have downloaded World of Tanks. That time. Oh, this video is making me feel all different emotions. First I'm laughing, and then I'm crying, and then I'm laughing. Oh my gosh. I am glad that he was finally put to rest. It should have been much sooner. But I'm glad at the end of the day that he got the peace he deserves. Oh, that was a lot. that was a lot to take in, I guess. I mean, kind of. You know, at least he's out of the cave. And he's, you know, he has his own little spot, not in the cave. Oh, that made me feel all kinds of things. My emotions are all over the place. Imagine him getting buried in the cave. See, that was my biggest worry. I'm like, oh my god, is he gonna be like buried in there? Like permanently? That was my biggest worry. So at least he got a socially acceptable, respectful burial and not permanently trapped where he lost his life, right? Oh my goodness. It was a very good video. It was very well put together. It just made me feel all kinds of things. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. My emotions.